Hi and welcome to Game Creation. So we did quite a lot yesterday, which is good, until I got rudely interrupted, but still. So we're looking at completing the player-controlled object today, and I've got to get my head around it. I've got the weekend tomorrow to mull over things a little bit more to speed this project along. I think we've done pretty well for a 3-week project, but I want to try and get a lot done today. So no hanging about, let's get to it. So I've opened up the same project as we've used throughout this little project, and so at the moment it randomly starts there, which is in the right X but completely wrong Y. It's just where I put it down, and it goes down quite nicely. It's not bad speed for it to go down, and then just keeps going down forever. Now I want to try and sort out the code a lot because this is going to become unwieldy very, very quickly. And I'm going to do that with groups. In fact, I'm going to do a heck of a lot with groups. So we're going to have our traditional init group, which is just everything that happens at the start. So it's only going to happen once. We're going to have our dev group as well, which is stuff like this bit here. Now, half of this should be in the init and half of it should be in the dev. So what I'm going to do is just hold down shift and click 1 and 4, copy that, and I'm going to put it in the init and the dev. What we don't want to do is mix up the two. So if I double click on this actually, I don't need any of these. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the dev bit here. That's the dev bit. And then this is the init bit here. So I'm just going to separate these out. I will need to rename the loops because the loops will get confused. I'll just probably put a dev after each one. And I really should have done this the first time. I think I was just all happy with being able to use it, the same thing in the same object, but what you end up doing is forgetting to delete the dev stuff, and this is going to be a pain in the backside too because there's a lot of these to rename. But that's okay, I am up for it. So if you double click on it, you can actually do this a little bit quicker. If only I hadn't been lazy the first time. This is like a punishment for being lazy. I was going to say let me know if I missed one, but I won't know that you've let me know. I will do when I run it and it doesn't work. So let's just run it. And none of that's happened, which is not good. So it must be one I've missed. Oh. For some reason I've deleted the init on some of them. I don't really know why I've done that. Oh. Has the X got an init and the Y? That's really weird. That's why we always test. And probably don't be lazy the first time. There we are, that works nicely. Okay. So I've got my dev area, so I can actually just deactivate. You can actually deactivate the group, and there we are. We've got nice. So we either want to see the array as we're programming to see if there's any mistakes, but then we can just deactivate it. And so if a user comes to us and say there's something not working, then we can open this dev area up and investigate. But just before you release it, like create the application, you want to delete this and like save it as a different one, like release version, and delete the dev stuff because you don't want it to take up room in your game. Okay, and you might want to delete the speech bubble object on your release version. Okay, so we've got the init, which is nice, and there's a start frame here, so we might as well drag that in there because that'll be an init as well, and it just sets the main X Although we might not want that, actually, thinking about it. Might not want that there, so let's just delete that. And right, so we've got another group. And this will be on tick. So this will be our on tick group. Now, we're going to do something a little bit clever here, and we're going to do this actually throughout this game. What we want to do is create a group that happens every time the tick happens. Now, what I could do is just drag this into there, and that would be absolutely fine, that would work. But we're going to be a little bit cleverer than that. And we're going to say always add 1 to this. Now, you're probably thinking, how the heck is that going to work? That's just, in fact, let's just run it now. It's just going to shoot down. You can barely see it. But what we're going to say is we're going to deactivate this group. So that group's deactivated. And at the end of it, we're always going to deactivate it. On tick. So it's deactivated, and whenever it is activated again, it then deactivates itself. It's a little bit confusing for now, but every tick time what we're going to do is activate that group. So group of events activate on tick. So what that does is it activates this group, it works its way down this group, and it doesn't actually matter what you put here. You could say 1 equals 1 or something, just something that always happens, because the way the programming works is it starts in the top and works its way downwards. So it starts doing this, and then it goes, oh, I need to deactivate the group, and the group's then deactivated until the next tick time happens. And one way of doing this, if you've got a lot of conditions, and probably for the tick time we've got loads of stuff we're going to put in, you could do a loop, a fast loop of 1, but it kind of gets a bit tedious writing on loop the whole time. Now with 2.5 plus, you can actually write on loop once and then write child events underneath, which is nice. I'm trying not to use those functions. I might end up using them, but I'm trying not to, because a lot of you don't have 2.5 plus, you just have regular 2.5. And you can see it works absolutely fine, works exactly as before. So if you have a loop of 1, then consider maybe using this technique instead of activating a group, having all your code in that group, and then deactivate at the end. It's much neater because you can close it very easily if you click the right thing. So you can just close it, right, I don't need that anymore. And it's much cleaner in the code. And you can put conditionals in here as well. You can put anything you like. But just always make sure that 1 is the last one. So always make sure you deactivate it at the end. But yeah, so that's nice and neat now. So on tick, what we're doing is we're adding 1 to the player data store, and we're setting the Y position of the actual sprite of the graphic. But we've only got 1 graphic so far, which we need more. So we're going to call this one main, and we're going to clone it. Now be careful not to duplicate. If you duplicate, it actually ends up being the same object. So if I position main to here, this will also be positioned there. We don't want that. So you actually want to clone it, and what that does is it creates a brand new one. So it's called main 2. So these two are completely distinct now. And we'll call this one other 1. Let's copy that. And you can actually clone more than 1. So if I put 3 rows in, then it will have the other 2 there. And it's actually renamed it, although I don't want the space. You can actually have spaces here. Clickteam doesn't really care whether there's spaces there, but I do. Okay. And so what I can do now is I can set the Y position there. Well, I need to know what tetromino I currently am operating. So if I go back here, I need to know which one of these I currently am playing with. So it's a random number between 1 and 7. Probably should have done it between 0 and 7, that would have been better, but too late now. So we need a time for when the players just put 1 down and they're ready to go for the next one. We'll need another group and insert group of events. I don't know, on new tile. Let's try and spell it tetromino, probably. So this will fire every time we need new tetromino, which actually happens at the start. And we'll do the same as we did with the other one. Let's just copy and paste that condition in, but just change this to on new tetromino. And because all of these are start of frame, we don't need to activate and deactivate this group, but what we do need is somewhere that activates the on new tetromino. Sometimes I forget where things are, right? Okay, that's cool. So on new tetromino, we'll go to our data store. Is it level data or player? It'll be under the player data. So player data, current tile. So current tile will be a number between 1 and 9. Let's just double check that. Between 1 and 7. I'm an idiot. Can't count. So between 1 and 7. So what we want to do is we want to create, and where are we? Alterable value and set. And we want to work out what the current tile is. And what we want is a random number between 0 and 7. So random, and it's going to be 7 plus 1. I think that works. Like every language does random very, very different. And in fact, I could just do random range. So between 1 and 7. I think these give integers. Some programming languages, they give decimals. And let's just open the object. So random tile 7, random 1, 2, 5, yeah, brilliant. So if I keep restarting it, you can see the current tile is just between 1 and 7. That's brilliant, that's what we want. And we probably want to have the next tile. So one of the things will be next tile because it shows it, if I just run it, it shows the next tile down here. So we probably want to work out the next tile in advance. And so the current tile would just be the next tile, like it would just equal the next tile. So we do this random to the next tile. In fact, why don't we do it now? Why don't we get ahead of ourselves and have something actually ready? So next tile. And so it's the next tile that will be random, and the current tile, I've done this the wrong way around, but still. So the current tile will be the next tile. Alterable value is for the next tile. We want to switch that around. So we want the current tile to become what the next tile was, and the next tile to be random. But we also need to update that because we need the next tile to exist. Otherwise, the first one will just be 0, which is not going to be ideal. Okay, let's just run that now. So the current tile is 4, and the next tile is 3. If we just keep, there we are. I don't know with Tetris whether you can have 2 of the same tiles come down. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can, but there might be need to be some conditions that say that they can't be the same tile. But we shall see. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I need to have a look at Tetris a little bit more. Okay, so now we know what tile the person's done. So on new tetromino, the tile's all sorted. What we need to do is also have a group that works out where the other tiles are going to be, and then another one to work out, like to actually draw them. So we need new group, work out other other tile positions. I don't know why I've got some of those as capitals and some of them not. That actually quite irritates me. So I put 2 spaces there, but I haven't. Okay. So on the tick, so at the start, we need to actually work out where. So it's not actually on tick, is it? That we actually, yeah. So start of frame. So that's going to be an init there. And we want to set the Y position to 1. Yeah, select the Y coordinate to, what is it, 40? Or is it 0? Yeah, it's 40, because it's 1 times 40. Let's just check that out. There we are. So that's a nicer start. So we've got the initial thing. Right, okay, let's work out the other tile positions. And we only want this to run once. So again, we're just going to use this trick. No, I want that in there. Just copy and paste it and get rid of that. Okay, let's just add some conditions in just to give us a bit of room. Right, so we have our main X and main Y. And what we want to do is say, well, if the object is 1, then we want to create 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 below. And this is where the boring bit comes in, unfortunately. So it's 1 to the left, 1 to the right. So insert, and we're going to say if, where are we? Logical value. I've clicked the wrong one. I've clicked the wrong one. It's the player, yeah. And if the current tile is 1. Now, we also have orientation, which we really should put in. Adding to the complexity. Orientation is if it's rotated. Some objects don't rotate at all, so the big square one, and some rotate twice, some rotate 4 times, just to make things simple. So I'm just going to drag that in, and I'm just going to say if the orientation is 0, because I don't plan on doing orientation just yet. And what we want to do is we want to create the other tiles. I'm just going to drag that in, and the other 1x will be whatever the main x is minus 1, and the other 1y will be just the same y position as the main y. And so what I've done there is I've said this is the main one, so the other one will just be 1 to the left. So we just take away 1 from x, but the y coordinate is exactly the same. Okay, I'm just going to copy these. Okay, we say other 2x will just be that, exactly the same, and other 2y is the same. I don't know why you can't hold shift down on these, but anyway. Okay, and other 3x will be the same x position, but will be 1 lower. And remember, y always goes downwards, so we add 1 for that. Okay, and let's save that and let's check that. So we're waiting for it to come up as 1, and let's have a look. So that's 4, Current tile's 3, current tile's 4. There we are. And nothing's happened because I haven't activated the group. So where is it going to be activated? Well, it's going to be activated in several places, but one of the places will be on new tetromino, and we just need to sort out that. So we need to actually set the main x to 4 and main x, there we are, and just reset the main block to the top. Then we want to work out where the other blocks are. I double click on things expecting it to edit it, but it doesn't. So we'll work out where the other tile positions are, having set those ones, which is good. Okay. And so that's worked. So that will then activate this group, work out where the other ones are, and then finish. We actually need to draw the graphics as well, but that's all right for now. So we've also got to have it on tick. So what we're doing is just updating, we're just moving one down, and we've got graphics in there, so we need to strip those out because we'll do those centrally. But I need to activate that group there. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go into the so it's current tile 4. Now we haven't actually programmed current tile 4 yet, so I'm just going to keep going till it says 1. I could hard code it as 1. There we are. So x would be 3 and 7, and you can see the y going down for each one, apart from the last one. So I've obviously made a muck up there. Always good to test. So let's say, oh, I've just put this 2y, so it should be 3y. There we are. And I'm sure it's one of those things he was screaming at the computer. Right, so I'm going to copy that, and we're going to go through to 2. And the good thing is now is all the code's written, and I just need to adapt it for 2. So looking at 2, it's the same as 1, but the fourth one is moved down 1. So that's the good thing about Tetris, is it's quite predictable. So the one that moved to the left has also moved down 1. Okay, so the one that moved to the left, which is this one, has also moved down 1. Perfect. We hope. Okay, so now we have a look at 3. So which one's 3 most like? Well, 3 is kind of like 1. It's just the one that moved to the left has moved right and down. So the one that moved to the left has moved to the right and down. Okay, and 4. Now what one's 4 like? 4's not really like any of them, but actually it's kind of like 3. Not really. Oh, it's like 2. Okay, so it's the same as 2, but the one that moved down has actually moved left. So the one that moved down has actually moved left. So the one that moved down, there's, oh, here we are. Okay, the one that moved down has actually moved left. It's one of those things, until we do the graphics, we are not going to have a clue whether we've got these right. We'll just have to play it by ear. Just hope for the best. And you'll probably see mistakes and go, no, you've done it wrong. Oh well, okay. So 8 is like 1, but the one that moved to the right has moved down. Moved to the right has moved down. So the one that moved to the right, the one that moved to the right has moved down. Down is not that way. Yeah, down is that way. Okay. The one that moved to the right has moved down. No, because it's still moved to the right. I've probably made that mistake on a few other ones, but we shall see. Again, continue screaming at the computer. So 6 is the same as 4, but the one that moved down left has moved down right. Down left is down right. I don't know why I keep clicking level editor. Right, so that is 6. Is there one more? Yeah. And so that's the same as, I don't know, 6, but the one that moved down and right is just right. So down right is just right. There you go. That was painful, right? Okay, so that's worked out the tile positions. I'm going to save that in case it crashes. I don't want to do that again. And you can see here that the algebra values all are flicking away. There was a y of 0 there, so let's just check that. Current tile 5. Yeah, so y is down. Down is add. Down is add. Have I made that mistake on other ones? Down is add. I've probably made that on all of them. Down is add. Welcome to my most common mistake. Really is my most common mistake. Down is add. I need that like a big poster. Down is add, like on my wall. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, so I actually want to draw the tetrominos. So I want to insert another group. Draw player. So we worked out their positions, and so we actually just want to like physically draw them. So we're going to do the same as with this group, deactivate it, and activate it at the end. Need to click edit. There we go, okay. And let's add some more breathing room. Okay, so we've already actually got one here already. And we can actually just use one line because all of these will be the same. We should set X positions as well. What am I doing? Set X position, yeah. So position, set X position to the X times 40, because we're going to be moving left and right. I don't like it that way around, so I'm just going to switch it. There we are. And we can actually just move these across and just adjust them each time. So it won't be main X, it'll be other 1, hopefully. And this is the beauty of copy and paste, is that you can just rattle through these quickly. And there probably are really clever ways of doing this that don't involve sitting copy and pasting. I've clicked the wrong one, haven't I? I thought I had. But sometimes the ingenious ways of doing it, of making it really quick and sleek, actually take longer than just sitting and doing it. Like just sitting down and actually just writing the code. So I've always been a fan of just getting things done. But equally, like having said that, if there's like 1,000 different graphics, like with the string thing I was talking about before, like that would have taken ages. And any mistake, any slight adjustment I want to make, I'd have to do to 180 or whatever it was, different strings. So that's not ideal. Okay, we need to actually activate this group. So let's put that in. I swear, if I double click on that one more time, I will scream. Right. And so activate group, work out tile positions. Then after they've already been worked out, draw tetrominos. Okay, this is a moment of truth. Absolutely no idea whether this works. So we've got one down. I don't think that's in the correct position though. But yeah, I think those are in the wrong position, which is going to be irritating. I don't really know why they're in the wrong position though. They should be, but that is pretty darn good. So what is the Y of those? So work out tile positions. On tick, which we've done. On new tetromino, set X to 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is it? Have I not added? Oh, I've not added the. What was it? The 80. Yeah, I need to add 82 to this. Oh, that's really annoying. Ah, right. I don't actually need to put brackets around these because of bid mass or bod mass or whatever you want to call it. It basically means that the computer or any mathematician worth their salt will do the multiplication first. So you don't do things in order. Well, actually, that's not quite true. Sometimes you do things in order. It involves weird dividing ones. Love maths. Right, there we go. So 0, 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. How cool is that? Huh? So we've got our pieces. That is probably the most boring video on YouTube, but it did the job. And I think on that note, and here's me praying this is actually recorded because I'm not doing that again. I'd love to wish you a really wonderful weekend. I'm going to be carrying on these videos, hopefully, all the way over Christmas and New Year's. These videos are going to keep going. So really well done to us today, and hopefully we'll have a successful week next week and the week after. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, please click subscribe. We release videos every single weekday at 7 PM UK time. Thank you.